two Chinese researchers smuggling bioweapons has shocked America. From Harvard to Stanford, U.S. universities are addicted to Chinese money. Today, let's uncover the hidden espionage activities of Chinese students in the U.S. Welcome back to Final War with Katherine Hu. Today we're diving into a case that has shocked the entire United States. A bioweapons smuggling scandal that sounds like something straight out of a novel. Even more surprising is that the main character of this story is a sweet, innocent-looking woman. It's hard to imagine her involved in espionage. So who's really behind all this? What's the bigger plan? On June 3, 2025, the U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement. A 33-year-old Chinese national, Jian Yunqing, and her 34-year-old boyfriend, Liu Zunyong, are accused of smuggling a pathogen called Fusarium graminearum into the United States. According to the details released by the Detroit Federal Court on Tuesday, Jian Yunqing and Liu Zunyong are accused of bringing the Fusarium graminearum fungus from China through Detroit Airport. The Justice Department described this fungus as a potential agroterrorism weapon. This noxious fungus causes head blight, a disease of wheat, barley, maize, and rice, and is responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses worldwide each year. Fusarium graminearum's toxins cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproductive defects in humans and livestock. Prosecutors pointed out that Jian Yunqing had received funding from the Chinese Communist Party government to conduct research on this pathogen in China, raising even more concerns. In addition to smuggling, Jian and Liu face several federal charges: conspiracy to deceive the U.S., lying to investigators, visa fraud, and more. Jian Yunqing is a Chinese national with a PhD in plant pathology from Zhejiang University. Investigators found that she's a Chinese Communist Party member and loyal to the party. Prosecutors say she received funding from Chinese government-backed foundations to do postdoctoral research. The U.S. customs agents actually discovered the Fusarium graminearum sample on Jian Yunqing's boyfriend, Liu Zunyong. FBI agents wrote in court documents that when CBP officers questioned Liu, he lied about his purpose of visiting and claimed he didn't know about the biological sample in his bag. Later, under FBI questioning, he admitted, "I knew bringing this stuff was restricted, so I hid the sample in my backpack. I just wanted to work with my girlfriend in the lab." Liu's phone contained an article titled "The War of Plant Pathogens Under Climate Change in 2018, which clearly stated the fungus's destructive impact on crops. Agents also said Liu admitted to smuggling the pathogen so he and Jian could work on it together at the University of Michigan lab. Liu works at a Chinese university researching the same pathogen. Before Liu returned to China in April 2024, the couple had been working together at the Michigan lab. Investigators also found 2022 WeChat messages between Liu and Jian, discussing how to smuggle the fungus into the US. Liu wrote, "I'll put them in my Martin boots, in a small bag, sealed, very small." Jian replied, "Good, just put them in your shoes." U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon stated in the statement, "The alleged actions of these Chinese nationals, including a loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party, are of the gravest national security concerns. These two aliens have been charged with smuggling a fungus that has been described as a potential agroterrorism weapon into the heartland of America, where they apparently intended to use a University of Michigan laboratory to further their scheme." former FBI supervisory special agent Jason Pak told Fox News Digital that a deliberate attack on America's agricultural system would have devastating economic and social consequences. He said, "Imagine walking into your local grocery store and seeing empty shelves where bread, cereal, and even pet food used to be." Jason Pak, a former FBI supervisory special agent, told Fox News Digital, "Prices spike, supply chains slow down, all because a foreign actor deliberately targeted the crops that keep America fed." That may sound far-fetched, but it's exactly the kind of scenario that becomes possible when someone brings a dangerous agricultural pathogen into the United States. It doesn't take a bomb to disrupt an economy. It takes a biological agent like Fusarium graminearum introduced into the wrong place at the wrong time. Food prices rise, livestock suffer, exports stop. The economic ripple effects are enormous. Michael Sobolik, a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, told Fox News,
"I was entirely unsurprised," which is a sad commentary, but it speaks to the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP wants to kill Americans. Look at what they've done with smuggling fentanyl precursors into our country to kill Americans. Look at the effects of them failing to stop the spread of COVID-19. Dead Americans. The fact that they want to target Americans here within the United States with pathogens and with bioweapons, this is the Chinese Communist Party. This is what they do. They're in a Cold War with the United States. They want to become the most powerful nation in the world, and they want to make the world safe for their tyranny and unsafe for freedom. And they're coming for us here at home.
China expert Gordon Chang warned that this is just another example of the CCP's infiltration of the US. And if America doesn't sever ties with the CCP, the next attack could be worse than COVID-19. The only way to stop this is to sever relations with China, Chang told Fox News Digital. And I know people think that's drastic, but we are being overwhelmed and we are going to get hit. And we are going to get hit really hard. Not just with COVID, not just with fentanyl, but perhaps with something worse. American universities are addicted to the CCP's money, having relied for decades on the full tuition paid by Chinese students, many of whom are pressured by Chinese embassies, consulates, and other groups to report back to Chinese intelligence agencies. Universities have become intelligence-gathering channels and a threat to America's homeland security. But this isn't just a problem at the University of Michigan. Major scandals have rocked top schools like Stanford, UC Berkeley, and Harvard too. In 2020, 2 Chinese students snuck onto the Naval Air Station in Key West, Florida, and filmed military facilities. They were arrested and later pled guilty. In 2021, Charles Lieber, chair of Harvard's chemistry department, was convicted for failing to disclose his collaboration with Wuhan University of Technology and the $1.5 million he received from the Chinese government. Lieber had also signed up for the CCP's 1,000 Talents program, which the FBI described as encouraging members to steal foreign technology to serve China's national military and economic goals. In 2022, former Chinese student Ji Chaokun at Illinois Institute of Technology was sentenced to 8 years in prison for trying to steal classified information from a U.S. defense contractor. In 2024, 5 Chinese students at the University of Michigan were indicted by the FBI for filming a joint US-Taiwan military drill at Camp Grayling in Michigan. They were part of an academic project in collaboration with Shanghai Jiaotong University. At the end of 2024, Chinese student Shi Fengyun from the University of Minnesota was sentenced by a federal court to 6 months in jail for using a drone to film the Norfolk Naval Base in Virginia, and was deported back to China in May 2024. In addition, the Congressional Select Committee on the CCP revealed last year that the Chinese government had funneled $220 million to UC Berkeley to help set up a large joint research institute in China, none of which was properly disclosed as required by law. And just this week, U.S. Border Patrol agents seized 50,000 kilograms of precursor chemicals for making methamphetamine, chemicals that came from China and were bound for Mexico's Sinaloa cartel. According to the U.S. Treasury Department, besides supplying the chemicals for illegal drug manufacturing, Chinese entities were also key players in laundering money for the cartel. Former National Security Advisor Christian Whiten warned, "This is the CCP's new espionage tactic, wrecking our economy, while American universities and businesses play right along, even helping Beijing expand its tech and military power. We're literally educating and arming our biggest enemy." Get the real story behind the CCP's shifting power games and see where US-China relations are headed next. Support the vision of a new China without communism. Subscribe now and join us in bringing the truth to light.